partnership between our Community Listens and Big Brothers Big Sisters started almost 2 years ago in a coffee shop when the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters and I sat down and were talking about what this training could mean for her team and the things that they hoped it would do in their organization.
Today we actually got to implement this training that we've been developing for a year and a half and actually get it in front of our high school bigs.
I hope you guys can relate to all these.
These skills that are the tenets of our Community Listens, as well as infusing the science of positive psychology and developmental assets, are foundational. And we know that these are going to be transformational for the kids that we serve.
I think another thing that today was a kind of symbol of was a lot of hope and hopefully a lot of empowerment.
I feel like the new curriculum with putting a lot of emphasis on empathy and putting a lot of emphasis on listening, that will help a lot, because I've been told I'm pretty empathetic by most people I talk to who need somebody to listen, but it's still giving me a nice, like, hey, I've never tried this before sort of moment, which means that I can learn more about trying to listen well and give a lot of empathy towards my little, who sometimes does need somebody to sit there and listen to. Sometimes he does have a bad day.
During the empathy section, I realized how easy it is to actually judge somebody if they're acting out. Like a kid throwing a pencil, you may not know it, maybe his grandma just got cancer. Or let's say a kid who just got a B when they normally get an A. They might be struggling with depression, they may not want to be here, they may have nobody to talk to. It's so easy to just judge somebody not knowing what they're really going through.
I knew what empathy was before I started this training, but having more examples of it and talking about it in a group setting, taking it seriously instead of just saying, be empathetic towards your little. Like, diving into the subject is really what this training has been about, and that makes me feel a lot more secure in my ability to implement it, I guess, with my relationship with my little.
I haven't been listened to a lot of the time, so I know how it feels to not be listened to, so if I could be someone who listens to them, I think it'll help, and I think it'll make me feel like I'm making a bigger difference.
Even just the effective listening too is good, because the little, I haven't even met her yet, but I know that there's going to be lots of things that she's going to want to tell me and talk to me about, and I need to be able to be there and listen to her and hear what she's saying without her feeling like I'm just there because I have to be.
This really helps them. This makes them feel loved. This makes them feel cared about and actually feel wanted, and some people don't get that in life.
Today was incredible on many levels. I think partly the fact that it has been a 2 years in the making kind of a dream. Seeing how many people have come together to collaborate and the hearts that they have. At the end of the day, if we can impact those kids at those ages, there's so many things that we could shift in our communities and in them and their families.
When there's a problem that comes up, I've done more listening than telling what's wrong and kind of going at it at my point of view. I've tried to be more understanding and hear it from her point of view, so that's really helped me. The training this past year has been very beneficial.
Being empathetic has gotten me so close to them, and it's such a great feeling.
Yeah, so kind of going back to the reflective listening, I try to really listen in. She definitely shares with me the highlights, and then sometimes I'll pick up on maybe an area where she's struggling, or maybe kind of get something out of her with that, she was having some trouble getting along with some students, and it was okay, I just picked up on one small word, and I kind of think she does the same. I definitely see her listening to everything I say, and then the next week she'll ask me, I told her one day that I was nervous about a test, and she was like, well, how did you do on that? And it's really cute because I'm like, oh my gosh, you remembered, and so that makes me very happy.
I think when you start a project like this, you have hopes of what the outcomes will be. But sitting down with the dashboard was kind of the moment of truth, right? To see what actually did we accomplish, and to see that 97% of the young adults participating in this program got to a point where they were using empathy, if not daily, regularly throughout the week. That was really moving. And I think the other thing that really was powerful was to look at the conflict situation. When so many people struggle with that, and over half of the group said that now when they're in a conflict situation, they can actually stop, evaluate the moves that they have in front of them, and make a good decision about that. And so for me, I think that that's success right there.